You're listening to episode 834 of the Father Bills podcast. Welcome back and happy Easter. This episode is entitled, The Sun is Risen, given on the Easter Sunday of the Resurrection of the Lord, 2022. As you may know, I am a geek, or in Spanish, técnico, right? Yeah, I love it. I love the wonder of technology. And as much, I am amazed at what we have learned and how we have learned to harness the power of the sun, S-U-N. According to an article I read recently, the sun strikes the earth with some 1.7 times 10 to the 17th watts of power. That's 17.4 followed by 15 zeros. Okay, that's a lot. Or another way of saying it, it's 174 quadrillion watts. Right? Make sure you put your suntan lotion on before you go outside when it gets hot out. So when I go camping, and especially at the Oregon Star Party, because I am a geek and do those things, I love to be off the grid. I have a little trailer, it's got a solar panel, and I just love to, it's like seductive. Like I just sit there and it makes power. It's amazing. But sometimes there's need for more. And I sometimes might bring along a little help. This is a little help. I mean, it's truly little. This is like a 60 watt panel. I have a 200 and a 100, etc. And with a battery attached with solar panels, I can be off the grid for quite some time. But this is my example, a solar panel. When the sun's rays strike a solar panel, it turns energy of the sun into countless other things we can do with it. Right? Pretty awesome. So there are many similarities between the sun, a solar panel, Jesus Christ, the eternal Son of God, and ourselves. Let me explain. You're like, what? Just think like a geek. We're like a solar panel. The sun is akin to Jesus, the Son of God, S-O-N. And the sun's rays, S-U-N, the sun's rays are like our Lord's grace, which pours down upon us all the time, whether we know it or not. Furthermore, it is often said that the church looks east for hope, the direction of the rising sun, S-U-N. For it is a reminder that Christ, the S-U-N, despite the darkness of the tomb, brought light out of darkness, conquered death, is risen and remains risen to illumine our hearts, minds, and souls. But we must be careful, however, not to let clouds and other things obscure our vision and openness to the radiating heat of God's grace, lest we find ourselves unable to do anything. Remember, without Him, we can do nothing. And we're called by the Scriptures to keep our eyes and our minds raised up, looking. But we must not be led by bad news in our world and allow that to darken our vision, our hope. That sun is going to be around, the S-U-N, for billions of years. But the S-U-N will be around for eternity. So we must surrender ourselves to the love and power of this God who's come in flesh and is risen on this day. This is the message of Easter Sunday. So whenever you go out and you feel the rays of the warmth of the sun in the sky, remember the warmth of God's radiant grace, which is coming down upon you at that time, and put that grace into action in your life. Remember that the darkness of sin and death did not overcome Jesus, the Son of God. He conquered it and triumphed over it in His resurrection. And we too can follow where He has gone before. So let the risen sun's gentle warmth thaw out and melt away any of your anger, resentments, fear, or hatred in your hearts. May we turn our faces, our whole beings, towards the brilliance of God's love and be filled by it like a battery connected to a solar panel. And then go out and give ourselves away for the love of God and our neighbor. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Father Bills podcast. Now, remember what I mentioned, 174 quadrillion watts? That's at any moment. That's not like per minute or per hour per day. That's per moment. And that's pretty stunning. That's just what comes to us. If we look at how much is just blown off by the star itself, it's 3.86 times 10 to the 26th. And that's a number I can't even put into words. But most of that, or it goes out into space. It's not directed to us. But anyhow, it's amazing. The sun is amazing. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions or comments, just go to my website, fatherbill.org, and there you can find my Facebook page or Twitter. You can even email me directly there, and I'll do my best to get back to you. In the meantime, may God bless you. Happy Easter Sunday and Easter season. Bye-bye.